My best assessment of human beings, of being connected through all this stuff and being a source of reliable and faithful information and more intelligent than wow. Reason why I'm more intelligent than people that have degrees and doctrines and study and it used to make them real mad in Sierra Vista. They would sit there and have people that would study something for 30 years and I could come and they could talk to me about it and in 5 minutes I could correct everything they were doing wrong. And they're like, oh, that arrogant son of a bitch. Who the fuck does he think he is? The guy that the fucking Romans turned into a god because he understood, because he was faithful and he understood life better than most people, so they turned him into a god. So he asked them to do things right, and they killed him and turned him into a god. That guy, okay. The one that people look to for wisdom and prove it, Jesus, prove it, Jesus. I'm the spirit of that guy. Okay. You're not for a reason because you're not faithful. You're selfish. You're jealous. You're angry. You're vicious. You're competitive. You're going to win. Okay. And most people don't think they're that way. Okay. But you'll accept philanthropy without question. You'll go to the building and you'll compete. And you feel good when you beat the other people and when you achieve your goals. Okay? Do you understand? When we're in this clusterfuck of insanity, we all have certain goals. But when we go through the process of achieving the goals and you realize it's a clusterfuck of insanity, that's when you know you're one of the gods. Okay. So you have Jiddu Krishnamurti, D.T. Suzuki, Sun Yat-sen, Haile Selassie, Earl Parsons. Okay. The gods sit there and go, wait a minute. No, we have to do this. And the anti-gods, ask me in Sierra Vista, what do we got to do to avoid all the crazy shit in the books? It's based on your life. Yeah, I know it's based on my life. You guys showed me it, and I'm, oh, okay, yeah, that's about me. Book of Revelation, that's about my life, right? Like the New Testament is about Jesus' life, and the Book of Malachi tells about Jesus' and Muhammad's life, right? Only there's way more information and revelation about Earl. Okay. And the New Testament is about what happened when Jesus was alive. Okay. And the book of Revelation, okay, tells you about what's happening in Earl's life. Okay, and what happens in Earl's life before Earl's born. Okay, so it's different than the New Testament. And it's got way more information. Right. Now, Daniel's not about Earl. Daniel's about a man named Herschel Steinschneider that was killed by a man named Adolf Hitler. Okay. So Daniel's already happened. And at the end of the book of Daniel, okay, Daniel prays to the future and gets a man named Gabriel, who's my nephew from New Mexico, and says, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. And then they go, okay, but it's going to be revelation. Okay, Daniel wasn't the time. Daniel, the man who was the spirit of Jesus, it was confusing. His spirit was lost. They'd lost the understanding. Herschel Steinschneider was a good human being trying to survive disgusting human beings and trying to help these disgusting human beings because we're not the types to go through, kill, take over, and do. I wouldn't build a quantum computer to kill all of my enemies to be right and win. That's the people at the Paris summits. I had a virtual presence with the people at Paris summits, but I've never been to Paris. Okay. That's why I'm doing the stuff like Amy said, and she's right. So just focus on where you've been. So my virtual presence, it wasn't a virtual presence. I all the things with the sports and the things and welcome into the building. It's a lot like the whole vampire thing. You got to welcome them in. Well, the thing that's different about me is if you want my protection, you have to welcome me in. Then it has to be me. It can't be you pretending to be me. Okay, so the only sports people and arenas and in the NCAA stuff that I have to connect to and do time with to clean up all this mess. The only places that I've not been, it's not the Paris summits where I've been, and we know the Paris summits people, boy, they recognize me publicly and want to live the Lord's Prayer and want to live world peace and want to save everybody from genocide. Yesterday, right? That's sarcasm, assholes. Okay. So I have New Mexico State University, Northern Arizona University, and Arizona State. Okay. And the most time, even though I went to school, okay, I went to more events and spent more time on campus because of going to the library and stuff like that to try to stop human trafficking. New Mexico State is first, okay, and I have family that went there. Second is Arizona State, and the least amount of time that they allowed me access to because of their business partners, because I wanted to go to school at Northern Arizona. It was Northern Arizona, and I was conceived in Flagstaff, okay, and I was born in Las Cruces. And I was indoctrinated into city genocide operations in Phoenix. So, those are my places with, where I met the women that I tried to love my children with and have my children survive this genocidal hell through the poor, which Phoenix, El Paso, they think that El Paso is worse than Phoenix. I don't know about that. Phoenix, the heat and oh gosh, yeah, it's bad. Okay. Phoenix is bad. And the carbon emission poison, it doubles in population in the winter because of tourism and the rich that come in and play golf and then leave in the summertime. And the only time you get relief from half the pollution is the summer, but it's 2,000 degrees and it's horrible, and the homeless even tried to leave in the summertime and then come back in the winter and die with the carbon emission poisoning with the other poor and stuff. It's just horrible. You sit and you look at all the misery and I remember when I was a kid, I watched a movie about a meteor coming and hitting Phoenix. And it's like, oh, Now you look at that movie and say that would sure be relief from what these assholes do to everybody in Phoenix now, just trying to live their beautiful lives because they're given to them by the glory of God and not by a science lab from elitist universities on the West Coast, right? And then the stupid people at ASU try to be like the people on the West Coast. It's like they don't give a fuck if you live or die. And you have the most physically attractive campus, and according to all the things in the whole world, the most physically attractive people. So you have a lot of poor people that survive that are very physically desirable, sexually desirable. And they end up in Tempe at ASU on Mill Avenue. Yeah. Sunset people doing it night after night. And so it's fucked. It's fucked. A lot of poor people go to Phoenix looking for relief from the weather in the Midwest, and you can't afford California. So they want warmth, and Doug, why do you live here? Well, I told you don't have to shovel heat, and I told myself I was never gonna, because he was raised in the Chicago area. So you can't afford California. The zonas, remember the San Diego stations? Look at all these zonas, because the zonas would all go to California, right? Because they wanted the beach, so they all go to California. They just can't afford it. Okay, they can afford to visit over the weekend, and all that cars, all those carbon emission poisoning, and all that stuff, all that hell. And so people don't like freezing to death. I think you guys would like Illinois and Wisconsin and all that better if it was more like a picture print from Curie and Ives. These wonderful things are the things we'll remember all through our lives, and more like a Doris Day movie, and less like if we make it through December, Merle Haggard song. Things gonna be all right. I know it's the coldest part of winter. Yeah, if it was less, the Artful Dodger and Dickens and shit, and more Fuzzy-Wig, So you need the Lord's Prayer, and you need it now. And the guy last night on Texas, Texas should be appalled because this is to take votes away from people of color. What's the difference? What color, what gender, what sexual orientation are a bunch of assholes that get together in a popularity contest over conflict over money that mass murders the poor? Okay? What's the difference if you deny the Lord's Prayer and you participate in your own children's torture and demise? What's the difference what color they are? What's the difference who they have sex with? And that's just fucking insane. It's disgusting. Texas should be appalled. Texas should be appalled that people with money and military ties took an interview with me back in the Obama administration in front of the library and put it on the cutting room floor rather than make it public. What do you think about the Paul McCartney concert to help people pay their rent? Why don't we just all live the Lord's Prayer of Jesus Christ and then people won't charge rent? And they went, yeah, oh wow. The two kids that were filming it and interviewing me were like, yeah, okay. The rich people that run the station, happy fucking birthday, assholes. Okay. Enjoy your day off, right? But the people that sell tequila to kill our brain cells and make us have car accidents, so we need personal injury lawyers in El Paso emergency room. Yeah. What about them? If they want to go drink yak piss because they can't fuck somebody that won't fuck them, tall and tan and dark and lovely, hey. And as she's walking, all the people see her walking go, oh, oh or I, it don't matter to me, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's load this one up. Let's make it efficient. Quantum computing, we need you to be better. I pray differently than most people. I don't pray to God. I pray to help from all the faithful. My prayers are kind of like, hey, all the faithful, help. We need to live the Lord's Prayer now. Help us through each day. Help us to, I don't pray to God because God's omniscient, omnipotent. I pray to connect to all the people that are faithful, that can help us live in the kingdom of heaven. I don't pray like selfish egomaniacs that think God is the center of the universe right here. I pray that, come all ye faithful, come to Las Cruces, and let's do this now, and let's correct their technology, and let's use their technology to spread the good news of the living word and live the living word. And it's not comic book killing for money. It's real life living with real love, right? Okay, that's how I pray. And we'll talk later today. I'm going to go do some relax. I got to do laundry and I got to clean in the house because of the praying and exercise and stuff. So I got to do laundry and other stuff like that. And it's a constant stay ahead of your chemical poisoning and how do you survive it. It's like stopping the chemical poisoning with quantum computing and get the scientists the fuck out of my house. That's a start. Okay, I love you too. All right. Like a picture, she was laying there, moonlight dancing on her hair. Okay, peace, man.